Hi folks, JP here from the podcast. Just to let you all know that the podcast is sponsored by AB Entertainment, and the AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge. It's a DJ and entertainment business. Alex is on Facebook and Instagram, and you can hit him up through the WhatsApp for any bookings on 07845 746 092. And also folks, the podcast has taken on a new partner, and we're partnered by MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If you want any jerseys, or if you've got any memorabilia sitting around you want framed or anything looked after that way, contact John Mullaney, and you can get him at johnmullaney0971@gmail.com, or contact him on his mobile 07835 072 582. And here at the Unrestricted View, we hope you're all enjoying the content, and if you are, please like and subscribe. It's free to do so, and also share amongst your Celtic family as well. Hail, hail from all of us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me is my favourite person in the whole wide world. It's Danny McGrain's grandson. It's Mr. Ryan Clifford. How you doing, mate? It's nice to see your granda gave you a Lenny's t-shirt again for the night.
I hope the missus isn't watching, mate, because I don't think you'll be getting anything tonight, mate. I always loved you, mate, and I always loved you. I'll take that. It's the best thing I've heard.
It really shows. Some of your text messages are absolutely brilliant as well.
It's the best thing I've heard all day, mate. It's only Monday, so I'll take that all day long. No, I'm good, mate. Obviously, it's been a bit quiet recently. Kind of no football and stuff, no Celtic, but there's always something with Celtic, even though there's not much in terms of media-wise or anything when about social media. There's always something to speak about. The Garden of the Euros coming up, which is obviously what we'll mention today. Scotland, obviously, as well. Looking forward to Euros on Friday. So, there's loads to talk about. Season's finished, but then we've got Euros and the Celtic players Euros, other guys playing Euros. So, it's always good to get a chat, mate, and good to chat to yourself and everybody. Hope everybody's well and had a good weekend as well.
Yeah, I hope everybody is well, and I hope everybody's had a lovely weekend, and not too many have got the Monday blues. We'll come in the comments, as we always do. And Jem always up first, normally. Evening, JP, Ryan, and all the other viewers. Hope everyone is well. Same to yourself and Jem. Jerry Burns, good evening, JP, Ryan, and everyone else. Hail, hail, as always, mate. Plunge is joining us as well, mate. I bet you're enjoying your cold beans even more, mate. It's coming into summer. Swore them outside, so nice wee bit of cold beans to cool you down indoors, mate. And I take it the cardigans off as well, mate. Last time I seen you, I think you were... I think he'd raided Rigsby's wardrobe, maybe the day before it or something. But it's good to see you, Plunge. Thanks for joining us again this evening, mate. Scott Melville also, he says, hail, hail, JP and Ryan and everyone else in the chat. I've always thought this about Scott Ryan, that every time I see his picture coming up here, he just looks like Wally Collum, that referee suit, doesn't he? I've always been meaning to say it to him, and it just keeps going out of my head because we're chatting about something else. But because we're at the start, I think it's the black, the kind of black, the black attire that he's got on in that photo.
I do.
Let me add, it's a great photo.
I do think Scott Sitton probably saying, I want to give you a red card for that, mate.
Probably, mate. He's probably about, he's not even want to go to VAR, you know. He's probably about to
Sin bin now. See you later.
Probably about to give me on the red card. I've no doubt there'll be comments flying in galore here. Joining us also. Evening, guys. Managed to get on tonight instead of catching up later off work. Basically with COVID, it's a shame. I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope you're not feeling too bad. And it's I didn't even know COVID was still a thing. Ryan, did you?
I've not really heard much of it, you know, the last few while, so not a lot of people have. It's just normally the COVID and stuff, so I hope it's okay and get better soon, get back to work as soon as you can as well. Yeah,
good evening, Soonest. How are we? It's good to see you joining us. I take it obviously that Mob not winning much last season. You've decided to jump on and feel like a champion. It's good to see you, though. He says, good evening, boys and girls, and hope all are well. Enjoyed your interview in Talk Sport as well, mate, with the boys, Simon Jordan and Jim Knight. I thought it was hysterical. Keep up the good work, mate. Chris Murray says, good evening, boys. Evening, everyone in the chat. Oh, we're all feeling the love of the night, aren't we, with everybody in the chat. Next minute, they'll all be organising a match down to George Square so they can all stand and cuddle one another.
Aye, but you need to remember George Square's for smashing things, mate. It's not for celebrating.
I know. You're either it's one or two things. I actually try and avoid George Square now because it brings up many bad memories back to me. Because you've got one or two things now, haven't you? So you're either walking around there and you're going to see 60-year-old guys standing, cuddling and guarding statues, or with Warburton's loaf packets on their head, or you're going to walk around there and you're going to see benches being smashed up, which was obviously a shame.
Must be following all Johnny's hymn sheet with the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. I could just picture plunged in something like that, man. That'd be brilliant.
Park in the sky.
Park in the sky. On about old Johnny, old Ronnie singing, shouting about Bismarck. Brilliant, man. Plunge, we'll see your comments here about Mikey Johnston and Adam Ida. We'll come to that, mate. Don't worry. John Duncan, Ralston is a better right back than Johnston. Said it for 2 seasons. He will prove it at the Euros. That's a good shout, John. Listen, that's a big shout, mate. Very big shout. I watched a wee bit I caught the kind of last half an hour of the Canada-France game last night. And I tell you what, Johnny, AJ he was awesome. He was a snitty. He got man of match in the game. They drew nothing each with France last night. He was also booked in the game. Just a typical Alistair Johnson challenge. And but yeah, he was very, very good. I'm looking forward to seeing Ralston. John, I've never doubted Anthony Ralston's ability at all, mate. I really think he's me and Ryan have spoke highly about him, young lad to come through Celtic's academy and to still be in and around. I know he's had a couple of loan deals away for the club, Ryan, but to still be in and around the kind of, even Brendan saying in one of his last pressers, he'll play more next season for me. Mm-hmm. Hats off to Anthony Ralston.
Yeah, he's obviously, like we've said, JP, a lot of guys you might not rate or guys you might not think are good enough, but to come through the academy at Celtic, you have to be of some ability or mentality. There's loads of things that you need to get to the level that they're at the moment. I think Ralston he's a steady Eddie. He gives you a 7 out of 10 every week in terms of what you're wanting as a professional. He runs through brick walls for you. Maybe similar to Taylor in terms of ability to take you forward. There's maybe limitations there, but what they do is they do everything to the limitations. They do everything to what they can do for you, and that's all you ask for as a fan and a manager and the club. But all you ask for is your best and everything you can do, and you're trusted. They're trusted in a way that they're going to turn up and do everything they can for you. Be that a bad performance or a good performance, there's always going to be a load of effort there. I do feel that he's able to come in and playing in certain games, but obviously I do still feel personally that he is the second choice and he is used as a rotational based to come in when maybe Johnson's tired, or you maybe play a European game during the week. Yeah. Right, Johnson, you play a European game, then Anthony maybe plays the game at the weekend. But I don't know if he'll play much at the Euros. Again, it all depends what Steve Clarke's want to do. Does he want to go with a back three? Does he go with a back five? I think it all depends on what the manager wants to do. I hope for his own personal view that he gets some minutes for himself, because that would be some achievement. Not really playing much with Celtic and then potentially playing the Euros. And he's obviously coming off a very good season as well, so his momentum's going to be high. He'll be buzzing off a double winning trophy season. So, listen, I hope he does well for Scotland if he gets game time, and he'll get his support from us anyway, mate. Yeah,
definitely. I think the most impressive thing, going back to John's point there about Tony, I think the most impressive thing about him is his fitness level, Ryan. Even when he, when he doesn't play, from the start in a lot of the games, but see any time he's called upon, mate, and I think obviously Brendan sees this and sees it in abundance, is the fact that he's ready to play. He's not struggling for fitness and, try to play catch up, and he could be out for 3-4 months, mate, but he's super fit. And we've heard stories about him, mate, of being one of the best trainers up there at Lennoxtown, and the way he handles himself, the way he conducts himself. And again, mate, he's got that winning mentality. That comes by playing under guys like Bruni, Mika Lustig, Cal McGregor, James Forrest, Joe Hart, guys like that round about you. So, even Dedik Boyata was a leader as well when he was there. Kieran Tierney, another leader. Ralston's had the privilege of playing with all these guys. And now he's got guys like, recently he's just had Joe Hart, James Forrest, he's been there throughout. Guys like Tom Rogic, who are leaders in a way that they'll do it in the pitch as well. But a lot of these other guys, Greg Taylor as well, these guys are more vocal, and they'll speak out in the dressing rooms and stuff. And Tony strikes me as the type of lad, mate, that he's one of the ones that probably speaks out as well and speaks his mind. But the most impressive thing there for me is definitely Tony's fitness. Good evening to John Mulaney. I'm looking forward to the Euros, mate. I think I've got aspirations for him doing well at the Euros. For anybody that doesn't know, John Mulaney is the podcast partner with his company MCM Framing Services and Hoops Memorabilia. If anybody's looking for any tops to get framed or any Celtic memorabilia at all you've got sitting at home, you would like to get in a wee frame, give John a shout. He's your man. Adi Oladipo, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. He says, I hope to see Bosun Lowell get a chance next season. Apparently, he's been a shining light in Ireland's recent training sessions. Yeah, I saw a bit today, mate, where he sent the cameraman for chips and gravy. He did a wee kind of, I don't know, a mixture between a Cruyff turn and, I don't know, a Ronaldo spin or something on the ball to get away for the boy that was, marking him in training. Again, Ryan, that's a bit of a tricky one because I can't really give a proper opinion on the lad apart from the fact that he's a mountain of a man. He's a big unity lad, and what I definitely think he would add without even seeing him and his technical ability there, or seen enough of him, should I say. He definitely would add height and physicality to the Celtic side. Now, in terms of ability-wise, that remains to be seen where he's at now. I know he's even mentioned it himself, he was being played out of position under Ange when he was getting played in pre-season, centre-back, and obviously Charlie Adam, the Fleetwood manager, moved him into midfield, and he kind of took up a kind of Wanyama role. But I'm hearing stories, Ryan, that his technical ability is absolutely unreal for a big guy, and he's been nicknamed things like Twinkle Toes, and I know John O'Shea, he spoke very highly of him, which is why he brought him into that kind of. But for such a young lad, mate, to be getting taken into a senior I know it's only Republic of Ireland. People say, oh, it's not a great side, but it doesn't matter. It's a senior international level. And for you to go in to train with these guys, let alone get game time, got to be doing something right, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, in terms of ability-wise, I don't think many of us can really make a full comment on him. I didn't think when he's been here under Ange, seen him in pre-season and I thought he was miles off it. But again, that's maybe because he was put in a position. But I did think he was miles off it, and that's obviously one reason why he get put on loan. The Fleetwood fans are happy with him. Charlie Adam was happy with him. He's had very decent reports from down there. But similar to Matt O'Reilly in terms of when he was playing in that level, all his stats were good, but until he came up here, we didn't really know about Matt O'Reilly. We just go by stats, and his stats were very, very good, and he was highly rated. But until we came up here and play at the level, because as much as people might down the Scottish League, it's not just about the Scottish League, it's playing with Celtic every week. The pressures are 60,000 fans. The pressures are having to win every game. You make a bad pass, it's criticised. All the pressure up in the Glasgow Fishbowl, and there's loads of pressure. It's not just the league, it's everything that comes with playing with Celtic and obviously them across the water. As much as I give them a bit of jet, they're still in this. Their players are the exact same. When you go you're in the same fishbowl. You've got to handle the pressure of playing at big clubs. So that's where you'll see if he's pre-season. I'd imagine Rodgers will give him a chance. Train with the first team, see how he goes. But in terms of ability, I think you will need to step up from obviously.
100%.
Again, this is just my opinion. I don't know how good he is.
It's a jump, isn't it? It's a big jump.
To play with Fleetwood in League One, so it's League One. Is that right? Is that League One?
Yeah.
And then getting up to playing with Celtic.
Did they go down? Did they go to League Two?
I think they might have, mate. They might have. I know they were definitely down the bottom, near the bottom.
Yeah, they were. I know they were near the top.
I might be wrong, but
after Bruni left, I think they sort of started to struggle.
So I would say, listen, they'll get his chance. There'll be some. I'd imagine there'll be some French players who are on loan or guys who may have not played next year. They'll maybe get a few weeks in training, and then the manager will decide whether or not he thinks they're even going to be in contention. I hope that if it isn't going to be. If he's not going to be in contention or he's not going to be making squads, that the manager just send him out on loan right away. Don't keep him to end of pre-season, and then if you don't think after a few training sessions or a few games in pre-season, you don't think the boy's up to it, let him develop elsewhere. If it's another loan deal and then bring him back again, he's still a young guy, so he has got time to adapt and maybe develop. But
he's on quite a lengthy contract as well, isn't he? I think he's only
he does sign a decent deal, so.
We got him for Watford as well,
it's all about the boy now. It's down to him now. He'll come to Celtic pre-season. He'll come back fresh. Obviously, a wee bit of momentum for Ireland as well. So it's all down to the boy now to impress the manager and improve it. Deserves to be the club after the summer. So it's all down to the boy now, JP, and good luck to him. I can't comment on his ability. I don't know how he is. But obviously, League One to Celtic. In the Champions League and the level we want to play at, it's a massive jump, and let's see if he can handle it. I hope he is one for the future, Stephen. I hope he is, but at this present time, I don't think we can really comment, because unless you see Fleetwood every week and you see if he is an absolute standout, then you can maybe comment. But I'm not going to sit here and put my name to something that I don't know about. So I just hope the guy can come on a summer, JP, get a good pre-season, get fit, and let's see how he gets on.
Yeah, 100%. I can't comment enough about the boy, so I'm only going on reports of what I'm hearing. He's well rated, I know that. And he had a very good season last season for a team that was, like we say, there is struggling. But obviously, Anjem, thank you very much, Anjem, has commented and told us that Fleetwood are still in League One. Unfortunately, it was a league I used to follow. For obvious reasons, as Barry Bannon was playing in the league, not that season, the other season before, but obviously Baz is now in the Championship, so I'm more more into the Championship. Ryan, that's another thing as well, just to touch on that, mate. I forgot how competitive that is. I'd fell away for that league for many years, and then obviously watching Baz last season and the teams that they were playing against. But you look at some of the teams that did well, like you look at like Coventry, kind of a dodgy offside decision goal away from, putting Man United out the FA Cup and getting to the FA Cup final. And obviously Man United then go on and win the FA Cup. But again, that's how football's a funny old game, because moments change outcomes of the way your season then looks. But we went to the Sheffield Wednesday Coventry game, and there was a draw that night on the Friday night when we were there, and there was nothing between the teams. And if you go back to the game as well, I mean, Sheffield Wednesday probably edged that game as well, and probably should have went on and won the game a bit more comfortable. But it wasn't to be, and then they obviously then go and play the replay, and it wasn't to be for them. But I forgot how much that league's so competitive down there. And, we have had transfers from down there before, and, and our players have left to go down there. There's obviously a valid reason for that.
It's a very competitive league, mate. A lot of the top teams can beat the bottom teams, and the same bottom team can beat the top teams. It's a league where you can't really take your eye off the ball. It's a very competitive league in terms of how many games you play. It's like Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Wednesday every week. The odd week they get the week off, but it's a lot of games. I'm sure it's like, is it not 42 or 44 games or something like that, including the cup games. And then if you get into the League Cup or anything like that, the Carabao Cup. So it's a very long season, and the top teams this season, you had Leicester, who was basically a Premier League team Leicester had. Ipswich come up obviously with Sheffield Wednesday, and it just shows you how things can happen. Sheffield Wednesday were probably better than Ipswich, and were unlucky not to get full promotion, and then Ipswich go and get promotion. So, like you say, football can be it can change within a few weeks, mate, and a few minutes. So it's a very competitive league, and there's some good players in it.
Very much so.
There's some good players in it, but normally the top end players are kind of, but obviously Burnley are going down this year, Luton, Sheffield United. You'll probably imagine they'll be up there, the top 10, top 6 comp of promotion, because they'll probably keep some of the Premier League players, and because of the parachute payments, they can still pay Premier League wages, because they know that if they get up again, they've still got the parachute payments plus the money they go up. So there's loads of money, especially in the top of the division, and if you get relegated, I don't know I can't mind how much it is, if it's 100 million over how many years, but you still get a lot of money over 3 or 4 years, something like that. So it's a massive competitive league, mate. Maybe not every team is all the quality, but in terms of the top end, but we seen with Sheffield Wednesday, you would think because of where they were in the league, but then we seen it firsthand. Some of the football they were playing under the manager,
unbelievable, really.
Playing for the back. It was like the FA Cup game. Coventry were going for the playoffs, and you wouldn't think it in terms of the FA Cup game. But no, listen, it's a competitive league, mate, and I'm not going to sit and down it, because I've seen the quality of players in it. So, but I will see how. Listen,
it's a far in terms of quality and what's available down there. It's in my opinion, it's a far more technical and probably ability-wise better league than ours.
It's the hardest league in the world to get out of.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most competitive leagues in the world. If you look at the all-round competition that's there, because you've got about 10 teams probably all vying to get into the top 6. And you've probably got 3 or 4 teams out of all them chasing to win the title to come up automatically. And then obviously more of them are chasing that second place to get up automatically. Not to mention the teams chasing the playoffs. So, yeah, it's a really, really hard league.
But it shows you as well, mate. What's that?
No, just to obviously plunge his comment there. He said, is League One in England a big jump to our league? I don't think so in terms of club size.
Some clubs...
We were at, again, this is only experience, mate. We were at the Sheffield Wednesday Fleetwood game. And Sheffield Wednesday, again, in my opinion, are right now a championship side. they probably were then as well, playing some of the best football in the league. They were, they led that league for pretty much a good part of that season, and then, for albeit a couple of dodgy results, didn't go their way, they end up falling into the playoffs, from being in the top two all the way. In terms of standard-wise, Plunge, I think our league's better. I need to be honest with you. I think, obviously, you look at then the crowds that we generate up here as well. Our league is one of the biggest in terms of most supported. Yeah. And I was actually really, really shocked when I heard that, but I've seen the backup to it. In terms of atmosphere and everything, Plunge, our league's far better. Far, far better. Standard-wise as well, our league's far better. Teams like Aberdeen, teams like Hearts, even Hibs, when they're at their pomp, you begin down and turning these teams over quite comfortably, mate. So, yeah, I think, all in all, Ryan, obviously, you can give your own thoughts, mate, but for me, it's I would say our league's better.
When we went down when they were in League One, you had Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, and I think Barnsley, I think. And they three were decent sides. They three were really good. Some of the football they were playing was really good. Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, and I think that the three of them were tied for obviously the league title. And the top 3 to 4 teams are clubs that have been down for the Premier League to Championship, League One, even teams like Derby have been in there as well. So there is the top end, it's still a good standard, but as you go down in the league, obviously the quality is going to go down. And but there's some, again, we obviously, Sheffield Wednesday, like you say, JP, even Barnsley and Ipswich, they were kind of championship teams in a league they shouldn't have been in terms of some of the quality players they had. Like the Sheffield Wednesday team was a lot of championship players. You can see when we were there, you've seen some of the standards. So the standard isn't, it's not bad, but in terms of us signing players, I don't think, put it this way, right, see Bosun Lawwell was playing with Fleetwood, I don't think we would even be signing him. I don't think we would be looking at it. I think the only reason, like I've said to you in previous podcasts, I think
it's because he's a player in it and he's been out on loan.
I think the only reason we signed Matt O'Reilly was because he was already highly rated by a lot of teams who had done scouting. Celtic scouted him. His stats were third so best in England. I know Bosun Lawwell had very good stats as well at Fleetwood, but I think that's just the stats that we've seen through like Celtic scouts or whoever it is on social media does that. So we can only go by stats in terms of Bosun Lawwell, how he's been. But Matt O'Reilly was touted to be very, very highly rated. All his stats were unbelievable. Apparently, Bosun Lawwell's stats are equaling that and better for what he's done last year. But again, like I've always said, mate, I know football's all about data and stats now. I could play 10 games, IP, and score 10 goals. But it doesn't mean I'm a good player. It does mean that I'm an all-round good striker. It just means I can maybe score a goal. But my overall play could be horrible.
I could believe that, by the way. All you need is one right good top 10 show to go well for you, me man, and you'd be buzzing until I go on data.
But stats don't tell you, like I've always said, stats don't tell you everything. They tell you what you want to see and the good things and the good parts about your game. But you need to show it on the park. So hopefully Bosun Lawwell stats can turn into, or when a Celtic player, anybody who we sign, if it's somebody foreign or if it's Tierney back, if it's a goalkeeper, whoever it is, the stats might tell you one thing, but until they come and they do it at Celtic, you can only get a gauge. So I'm not a big believer in everything about stats. I do believe stats are good and they give you a guide and a gauge of how the guy might be, but until they come and prove it, then I think that's when you really put your piece how somebody is, because like I said, you can take a stat for somebody who's in the third division in Scotland and then compare it to somebody in Celtic, but it's a total different level you're comparing. So I think it just depends what you want to look at and what you're looking at and what you feel as a scouting team that you want a player, because the stuff you might not want a player might not be good for you, so you might not even look at that player. So I think it just depends on how he'll do in the summer, mate, and I hope the big man can, for himself and his family and his own development, that he can potentially maybe be a player for Celtic, but that's why you've got a pre-season to see how players go. Yeah,
that's it, 100%. Yeah, Jerry, you took the kind of words right out my mouth, mate, because let's cast our minds back to that one. We weren't even going for Matt O'Reilly. It was Riley McGree we tried to sign. So, yeah, you could call it a wee stroke of fortune, mate. Matt's obviously developed as well since he's came up here. He's become a better player. Again, Jerry, I'll go back to it, mate. I've had a conversation even with my dad, with Ryan, with Big Alan, the lads off it, even off of this, the guys who sponsored Big Bev and stuff. We all chat kind of every other day or every day with one another. And I've said millions of times that in football, sometimes you need a stroke of luck, mate. You're never going to get every signing bang on. Matt O'Reilly's obviously came up here and he's developed into a better footballer. But Celtic have given me tools to do it. But I've also said, Jerry, see when you win things, mate, it changes you, mindset-wise. Your mindset changes. It makes you hungry. It makes you want to get better. It makes you want to do the things that you're doing good more. It changes you. So, it's the same with Louis Palmer. I don't know, like I said, when I was on the Sports Sound, speaking to the guys just a short time ago, I had says to them, it was actually Leanne Cranston I was speaking to, and I'd said to Leanne, I don't know how many of these young lads that have came here have actually won before. So I don't know how many of them have won trophies or medals, but that's what Celtic does for you folks. It opens a big door to you that gives you that opportunity to play for trophies and medals. Because a club like Celtic's always synonymous with winning. We're always at that end of the season podium, whether it's the winners' medals or runners-up. We're always kind of there or thereabouts. We're always vying for trophies. And that's where the demands come from us as supporters, guys. We put that pressure on them because we want to see them winning. And there's been generation upon generation of, winning. So it's, in terms of the Matt O'Reilly one, Jerry, the price was really right. For me, it was a lower gamble than what it would have been if you paid $5 million at a time for him. Because I think if we'd had a lot of Celtic fans at that time, we'd have been like, what are we doing here? He's coming for League One. With MK Dons. He got the same level of criticism. I have to say, there was people criticising him the same way they did with Adam Ida. Very similar there because he hadn't played at Celtic's level. A lot of people questioning, here we go, we penny pinching again, he'll be doing this, he'll be doing that, because I think it was Riley McGree, Ryan, he was linked to being like a $4 million signing. Or
it was roughly about that money, aye.
Yeah, so I think people were, here we go, is this a cheap option? Is this a cheaper option for us? When in fact, it certainly wasn't. In my opinion. Now, again, this you can call us being biased or, but I'm trying to be as honest as I can. After seeing both players play, for me, I would have Matt O'Reilly all day before I would have Riley McGree, Ryan. Just for everything. But again, Matt O'Reilly wasn't at the stage in his career that he's at now in his career, because again, he's came up here and he's developed. And that's what Celtic does. It gives you that platform to elevate your career. But by working with managers like Big Ange and now having the privilege to work with a man himself and Brendan Rodgers, mate, if you're not developing under these coaches, then in my opinion, I don't think there's a lot of hope for you.
No, that's Celtic. You've got a massive winning mentality, and that's why under Ange, he spoke to players first, like Joe Hart, guys who you actually get a feel for them, what they want, what the mentality is. And if he felt they weren't up to the standard of Celtic or him, he didn't sign players because he says he spoke to players, didn't like their attitude or didn't like the way they were talking about football, etc., and didn't sign them. I feel Brendan's got a similar kind of nous for that. I think when he talks about football, he's a winner. He's people again. It's all about listen. This is why football's all about opinions. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. As much as you think some people's opinions might be crazy or whatever you think, there's things I might see people think, God's sake, man, you're I think we've had too many sherries at the weekend. But listen, it's all about opinions. This is why football divides opinions, and that's why we love it so much, because I'll say something, you'll say something, Stephen in the comments, John, Nick, whoever it is in the comments, we'll all say different things, and we'll go, no, but this, we're no right, we're no wrong, it's just an opinion. If somebody, maybe if a football player agrees with you, go, right, maybe I've said that, he said that, right, okay, maybe I'm right, but listen, football's all about opinions. But to play with Celtic, you need to have a certain mentality. Your ability comes with it, but mentality and everything to be a winner. Matt O'Reilly for me is, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say nobody's too good for Celtic. Well, obviously you've got Messi and Mbappe, but I mean, nobody's, if you don't want to be here, then don't come. Like, if you want to come play here and stay, fine. But I do feel that Matt O'Reilly's got the potential to play with a club at a better level in terms of top Premier League, top Spanish League, etc. I mean, a better level than the
I was going to say, I was waiting on you there, because I was ready to say there's no many bigger.
No, I mean, in terms of the league, I don't mean the start. But listen, Celtic are an unbelievably worldwide club in a small pond, in a small league. And that's just unfortunate where we've been brought up in Glasgow, Scotland. That's just, obviously, Ireland's obviously where we're made, but you know what I mean in terms of Scotland. Obviously, the Carlton and stuff, everything else fall off our roots and everything else. But there's obviously the Irish roots in Scotland, but we are a Scottish club. This is where we play. And that's just unfortunate that this is where we are. But listen, Matt O'Reilly for me I've raved about him all season. I think he's absolutely different gravy. He does everything so effortless. He reminds me of Rogic. He's got the Rogic mould about him. He's no quick, but he's quick with the ball at his feet. Rogic wasn't fast, but he was very, very quick with the ball at his feet. He thinks 2 or 3. He's similar to McGregor. I actually watched McGregor. If anybody watched the game against Scotland, I had my own McGregor for a few minutes, and the standard of that player, I've said it on here, for me, McGregor's Celtic's most important player, and he's Scotland's most important player.
See the game when he came on against Gibraltar as a sub, right? It's not very often you see him coming on as a sub. Scotland's tempo and everything just went up like 2 or 3 notches for where they were.
Might think I'm biased, IP, right? But I like to think I can be, if it's very close to water or a Hibs player, I'll say we done well, he's done well, they're good players. I can admit when guys are decent, right? I've said it about Jack Butland, I said it about Al McGregor, I even said it about guys like Jelavic in the past, good striker, clinical. I'm not going to sit and say a guy's going up because I'm well man of these taps. Do you know what I mean? But McGregor, in my opinion, Scotland.
Your grander would go mental, man.
In my opinion, McGregor, when he's not playing with Celtic, yes, there'll be bits and bobs that might be better, but overall, someone with Scott Brown, we're not the same team. In my opinion, Scotland are a far better team when he's playing it week in, week out, in my opinion, for Scotland. I was watching him for a few minutes, JP, and he was looking already for the pass. The ball was not even near him, but he was looking. He was scanning. He was looking.
I was going to say, John Collins has got. If he's watching us, man, he'll be disappointed on you for that. I'm not mentioning that.
He was looking ahead. He was pointing direction. He was telling people where to go, and that's just the standards because he does that at Celtic and he's bringing it to Scotland. And I thought it was brilliant. And I don't know if anybody's seen it yet. I only seen it about 2 years ago before we come on here. There's a wee small clip of McGregor on BBC. Have you seen it yet, JP?
No.
Right, so he's talking about his injury. He says that basically it's only for about 1 minute and 10 seconds. You get it on the BBC Scotland Twitter. He says this just tells you how much these players or him himself wants to play with Celtic. They know what it means to go and win trophies and what's at stake at the club, etc. So he basically says that obviously his injury he got, the scan was basically season finished. His injury was bad, potentially out the Euros. It was not looking good for him. He says, but obviously he says the mind does crazy things for you. He says that if it's adrenaline or if it's healing, whatever, he says whatever's happened, my body's healed quickly, and I've been able to.
That is absolutely sensational hearing that, because him and Maeda must be going to the same doctor.
Aye. Once we're finished, mate, I've retweeted it on Twitter. He says that I had a few conversations with the managers and the doctor and whatever else, and we knew it was at stake, so I had to get myself fit, but manage it. He says it's been hard, we've had bumps on the road, etc. He says, but I know what was at stake for the season. So he knew, he says, and your mind can I get to you over the line? He says, now I'm back to fit, I'm kind of back to normal now. But obviously, he wasn't fit. But like I says, I think now, in terms of not just Premier League, not just football players, JP, at the top level, amateur players, junior players, League One, League Two, etc. I think Roy, I'm sure it was Roy Keane or Ben Rooney when he said it in overlap. I feel there's some players, they get a wee niggle. I don't want to play today. I'm not comfortable. I'm not fully fit. I don't want to take injection. I don't want to take a pill to heal my pain. I don't want to play through my injury. I get it. I've got family lives and that. I get that, Barry. I get that. Right? So you need to try and watch, obviously, your health as well. But for certain guys that don't want to play with a wee niggle or a tight ankle or a tight, they don't want to do it. But there's guys like McGregor who'll play through the pain to run through to win league trophy, and that's the standard, and no standard. That's the mentality of the group of players and the captain that we've got, and then you've got them across the water. They can't play in front of fans, and when they get booed, and that's what I'm saying. That's the mentality of your club. That's just the captain. So which Joe Hart, which Vickers? Now, we don't know how sore Vickers has been. We don't know if Joe Hart's actually suffering in his body, but he's still playing through the pain. We don't know this.
I'll tell you what, if Cameron Carter-Vickers wasn't sore, he is now after
so,
that. Right?
For me, this is what I'm saying about the mentality. And I feel now, JP, in terms of football in general, like even when we played that, I think as well, I couldn't tell you, JP, when I was fully fit. I was always injured. I had a wee niggle every week. I was always, James, you're right. I was always injured. I was either with my knee, my ankles, my ligaments. But you played through the pain because you loved playing football. As soon as you finish a Saturday, the Sunday, recover, done a wee bit of light session, Monday, whatever. But you always thought, right, I need to be all right for Saturday. But I feel now, JP, again, I'm not going to say that guys are not professional or guys don't want to play football, but I just feel there's a difference between no wanting to play, have a wee sore ankle, but then they want to go and win trophies and win that. And no, I need to win that trophy. I need to win the league. And I think there's differences, and that's why I think, JP, we are very successful, and why these top teams win trophies and some teams don't.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Stephen, JP, how's your injury? I hope it's healing good, mate. No, Stephen, I've actually had a wee bit of a kind of setback last week. I went and saw a knee specialist surgeon, and he sent me for further testing for an MRI and a CT scan, and it turned out that I'd been walking about with a snapped medial ligament. So a bit of my medial ligament has snapped, which is a lot sorer than you breaking a bone, and a wee bit more in terms of length of recovery as well. So I thought I was only going to be maybe a 5-a-sides for about 6 weeks. It turns out I'm probably looking best part of 3 months before I'm anywhere near ready to do that again. No including all the kind of physio I'm going to have to go for and rehab I'm going to have to do. So I'm miles away, mate. But I'm still in a bit of pain, man. I'm still walking with a wee bit of a limp. I can straighten my leg now, thankfully, because I was getting worried. I was actually getting to a point, Stephen, where I was getting really worried, mate. I couldn't straighten my right leg. Plunge you met me at the game and all, mate, and I was probably walking like a guy that was maybe 10 years even older than yourself, mate. So I'm actually losing the will to live, mate. So I've got Mrs. Begg coming tomorrow. She's coming to help me tomorrow. So
remember tomorrow we go to bookies, take your stick with you.
I know. I've actually said to her to bring me a packet of snowballs. So I hope she does. Will make me a cup of tea.
Empire biscuits.
Empire biscuits.
Go, mate. Go get Mixie about your ass for you, JP.
Stephen, it's probably not a nice thing to say, mate. I've got used to the pain now. A high plunge, no, you're not far away, mate. It was a bit of a walk from my car, mate. So, but aye, it's uncomfortable when I sit down for a long time. It seizes up on me. I was in Ryan's house a couple of weeks ago, mate, and he had to go through 2 cans of WD-40 just to allow me to go to the toilet to spray it all in my knee, just to get me to go. But no, listen, lads, I'll do my best. It's not about carrying on, mate. It's, you know, I need to get on. I've got 2 young kids as well, Jerry. My boy's 5 and my daughter's 4, so I've not a chance to rest, not a chance to chill out. So they keep me going though, but I suppose that's a good thing, you know. Aye, that's what I've got Mrs. Big coming for, James. She's coming tomorrow, mate. So she said she'll be here between. She's more accurate than the Amazon drivers, so she'll be here at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Which is good because it will allow me to do a school run.
Remember, but you don't like your toffee ones or the mint ones. I don't know.
No, I don't like your toffee ones.
No.
When the boys come up to visit, they'll hear water running about that. Is water running out there, big man? But, no, as I say, I'm in good spirits. I know previously, Stephen, I was in a bit of a bad mood. But it looked like I was in a bad mood because I remember your comment coming through. I've learned to live with the pain now, mate. So it's something that I just need to try and manage. But hopefully I'll get there. Once the physio starts and I start being able to manoeuvre it a wee bit more than I can now, it'll be better. I wish I could run because I'd start running and start trying the muscle tissue and stuff run about it as well. But no, as I say, it's one of the ones that'll heal when it's going to heal. Aye, John, that's a good shout. Ryan was known as Sick Note. The two Ryan and Dirk Barigter's the only 2 football players I've ever known not to have got outside the physio room.
Still won trophies, but so it's all right.
He's won trophy. But I'm not. But the 2
I was a full kit wanker when it's like that. Yeah.
He was playing Champ Manager, and you were on the PlayStation.
I was always fit pre-season. Fit till about September, November, December, January, February. My knees too cold. Winter time, can't play. Then the summertime, I was ready to roll. So that's just the way it worked out, wasn't it?
Aye. Cheers, Stephen. Thank you very much. That's why I'm still here, mate. That's why I'm still doing this, because it keeps my head somewhere else. So it's it allows me to think about it.
Head with somewhere in the half-10 show anyway, mate. We'll chat about that another time.
No, you can take my mind off that tonight. Maybe I know you've got planned.
I'll need to actually. By the way, I'll need to let Mrs. Begg know she's only half 11 tonight.
That's what I'm saying. I'll let her know because she's going to video call me tonight so that the two are in first name terms by the time she gets here tomorrow. She said.
Well, tell her I like your mint ones. So tell her if she's not going to you, I'll take the mint ones then.
Aye. She's going to video call me and says that you want to scrub my back for me. Not too sure how that'll get in there enough in here. But we'll see. You and Big Alan will be like, holy moly! Comes to the door. Not very short buttery, sure, is she?
Brilliant.
But, right, Ryan, I wanted to chat with you regarding this kind of link that we've been linked to that's not really gone away, and it's actually starting to grow arms and legs because two guys I know have now put their name to it. David Ornstein was one, and Stephen McGowan being the other, who are very reliable sources, as we know. And I think Anthony Joseph put up a wee clipping of part of it as well. It is indeed the goalkeeping situation. Mm-hmm. So Celtic are deep in talks, as we're led to believe, with Peter Vindal Jensen, the Danish goalkeeper, who is currently on the payroll of AZ Alkmaar, but he was out on loan to Sparta Prague and was their kind of mainstay goalkeeper. And it's a man we're led to believe, Ryan, that has been identified by Brendan Rodgers to take over the mantle from Joe Hart, mate. There's now talk of a deal being struck for just under 4 million quid and a bit of a lengthy contract as well, what we're hearing. So what's your thoughts on that one?
It Again, I've only seen him bits and bobs in Europa League, JP. Again, I'll probably do my due diligence when it's my proper research about the guy. When I know that he's maybe close to signing, because I don't want to do kind of research on somebody that we're not going to sign, because I know it's good to get education about players, but I'd rather...
I'll come to that in a second, Jerry.
I'd rather look properly at guys we're going to sign. He looks like he's a decent goalkeeper. He's played at a decent level, played in Europa League, so he's got European experience as well. He's used to playing number one. I do feel though that even if he does sign or whoever we get as number one, I do feel we need to get somebody else, because I do feel that either Siegrist or Bain, or both of them, they'll be going. I think more Siegrist will probably want to go and get game time. Yeah. I don't know Scott Bain personally, but I think Scott Bain's probably comfortable with what he's doing at the moment.
Is he not already left? Scott Bain's contract?
Well, his contract's supposed to be expiring. But I know there was links and rumours about signing a new deal, but I've never seen anything official. So whether or no it is official, it's never came out. But on the Celtic website, it does say it ends in May or June, July or so. So whether or no that's we'll find out obviously in the next few weeks or so, mate. But for me, I think you need two goalkeepers, or at least two goalkeepers, in my opinion. A solid number one and a solid number two, because I don't feel Scott Bain for me isn't number two. He is a number three, in my opinion, for Celtic. He might be number one for Aberdeen or Hibs or Hearts, but for Celtic, I think we've seen enough of Scott Bain now to know that he's not going to be a number one at Celtic.
So that one with Roy Keane, is it? What's he good at? Is he good at playing cards? Is he good at
obviously Scott Bain? We've heard about Scott Bain. He's good in the dressing room. He's good with the young goalkeepers. He's brilliant. He's obviously doing a lot of work with Stevie Woods and stuff for potential things after football, etc. So, like I says, there's some guys that might not play every week, but they're good in the dressing room. Sometimes, as much as you want to pay guys to be a footballer in terms of playing football every week and try to be competitive, sometimes guys are in the squad and they might not play every week, but they're good in the dressing room to help at training, and that's just part of squad players. That's sometimes what squad players are. I don't think Scott Bain will play a lot for Celtic. For me, he's hardly even played friendly games with IP. So for me, that tells you that he's either not rated or he's just there to be part of the European quota or the quota for Europe. So I don't know. Scott, similar to Scott Carson at Man City, not really playing, but he's obviously good in the dressing room. But I do feel we need two goalkeepers. IP are solid. The number one that I want, if it is the guy from Alkmaar, he's got to be here for at least 2. I'll say 3 years. The number one for 3 years. Obviously, if it's a good season next season or the next 2 years, then you might get a massive. I think that one's a good
point there for CJ1, though, Ryan. That he's definitely.
Oh yeah, listen. Joe Hart is not just a good goalkeeper. He was a good guy in the dressing room, off the park. The way he led his life professionally, everybody speaks highly of him. He was a leader on the park as well and off the park. So you've the goalkeeper. I'm not saying the goalie's got to have all that, because the goalkeeper we might be looking at might be 23, 24, 25. So he won't have the experience of Joe Hart. But if he's got the quality and the character as Joe Hart, then it will help. I know that was, again, Ange, I've never seen that being confirmed.
Celtic never confirmed that at all. See, when everybody keeps saying this, right? But see, if you go back to the headlines in that date,
I've never seen anything
Celtic never confirmed it. They never put it out.
If it is true, by the way, I'd like somebody who knows to actually tell us, because I've not seen anything officially on websites or anything.
There is a sort of myth, isn't there, that surrounds it, and it's like he's signed this deal and his contract goes up 2026.
If it's true that it's not maybe not updated, whatever, and Scott Bain has got a new deal to 2026, then Scott Bain's not going anywhere. He'll be here until probably his contract runs out, probably, because he'll be happy to be here. Yeah, probably the biggest club he'll ever play for again, probably. He'll be happy. He'll be happy maybe to continue, maybe try his best and get in the team. But listen, sorry for watching, Scott, but I don't believe you'll be even anywhere near the number one spot to even be a contender to go and take over number one. So I do feel, JP,
Well
that
done on your new 5-year contract, Scott. You'll be signing that tomorrow now that he's just said that.
On the goalkeeper, he seems a decent goalie for what I've seen in parts of the Europa League game and stuff. I don't watch Czech Republic football, so I don't think a lot of us can really comment in terms of, oh, he's amazing, because we don't know everything. We can only say what we've seen of him. But in my opinion, until it's official in terms of it's proper, like, but it's in the ban on the Sky Sports, or there's a proper footage of him at Celtic Park, then I'll start to fully believe it. But if it is him, JP, then we've just got to take the manager's word. Out of all the goalkeepers in the world, if that's a goalkeeper he's highlighted to come and sign, then we've just got to trust the manager, because I do believe and I hope that this is going to be the transfer that Brendan gets the players, Brendan gets to pick who he wants. Because if he, in my opinion, if he gets to pick who he wants, then I think we'll see very quickly at the start of the season that you'll be able to tell that it's cheerio, because I think the quality we've already got and the players that we've been linked with, again, it's only links. That's the quality, like your Tierneys and guys like that. If that's the quality we're linked with, and you get some of that quality, then I think we'll be very excited, mate, during the summer.
Yeah, 100%. Going back to Jerry's question there, is he any good? He's a very, very good goalkeeper. I've done a wee bit of due diligence on him now, and the only reason I did this, Jerry, was because I do have belief that Celtic have made this guy their number one target, and I fully believe there's something more to it than just a rumour. Like I says, mate, when you start to see guys like David Austin and Stephen McGowan put their name to things, there's a wee bit more substance in this than just a guy sitting in a pub with his mates and making up a daft rumour. There's a lot more to it. And that's, there's a bit more to it as well when you hear there's an in-depth story behind it as well. Like Brendan spoke to the player, and the player's already looking for property over here with his wife, and the deals kind of at the advanced stages of the two clubs are just about to agree some sort of fee of the amount I said earlier, just under 4 million, if not 4 million, plus add-ons. The profile of the player as well, he's 26, so it would highlight that he's that kind of profile that Brendan's looking for. He's not a young lad, he's not, he's not a novice to the game. He's played international football. And as I said, he actually played against Rangers last season, or Sparta Prague. He was the maniac that came out and took Danilo right out of the game. If you remember the game there where they battered him. And obviously Rangers still jammed was it a draw? There. But he's a very, very good goalkeeper. He's a very commanding goalkeeper from what I'm taking on him. Now, when I say that, I mean in all different ways. So he's very good with the ball at his feet. He's very accomplished. So again, he suits our style in the way that Brendan would like to play. He's quite silky. I know it's mad saying this about a goalkeeper, but he's comfortable with the ball with both feet. And he comes out the way Boric used to come out and spreads himself really, really well. And 9 times out of 10, the ball hits half his ear and goes out the bar. He makes a lot of, on the camera line, they look like top class saves, and he's good at saving penalties as well. He saved 14 penalties for Prague last season. 4 of them were in the Europa League. So he's very, very good at that as well. So I think just looking in for this side of it, Ryan, listen, I might be wrong. He could come here and not be a good signing. I hope that's not the case, but it does seem to look like Celtic have done their due diligence on this guy, because they're homing in on him now, and he seems to be the one that's, you've seen the other ones being linked to. He's the Belgian goalkeeper who's now signed over in Saudi. And there's been another couple of goalkeepers. You look at the boy Kelleher, that rumour's not went away, but you're talking astronomical amounts of money you're going to need to pay for him. So for me, that's a non-starter. But you look at £4 million, guy that's 26. Everything indicates, mate, that this is a Brendan Rodgers type signing. And, there's other things starting to happen now. Obviously I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to start silly rumours on here, and if they don't materialise, then people are going to say, JP, you said that on your podcast. Why did you say that? I know for a fact there's things happening. I think I seen in one of the comments earlier, people saying, is Andy worried about it? The club's still on holiday. Everybody's still away on holiday, and the ones that aren't on holiday are at the Euros. But the majority, like say, the players, but the coaching team, Brendan, he was seen in a photo with Jurgen Klopp in Spain the other day. So these guys are all still on holiday. The staff at Celtic behind the scenes are on holiday as well. These guys have worked tirelessly all season, in a season that we had to roll our sleeves up and really, really battle and get it over the line. So they deserve a break. They've delivered the double for us. These guys deserve a break. So the movement that we're all looking for, and I'll go back to it, Ryan, I think it's this Celtic signing fix that we all want. We want to see who the next one's going to be, who's the next guy through the door. You don't know. We just don't know. But the first signing, in my opinion, Ryan, has to be the goalkeeper. It has to be the new number one. They've had a wee bit of time now to mull over this, and they've known since February that Joe Hart was moving on and retiring and not going to be at the club. So knowing the way Brendan works, and I'm comfortable with this and the way things are happening just now, I'm very comfortable with it. I don't have any panic in me at all. I think everything will start to happen pretty soon, but it'll just fall into place when it does, Ryan. But knowing the way Brendan works, mate, Brendan's not diving in with this one. Because like I says, mate, the goalkeeping position has to be right, and it's for me the most important signing of the transfer window.
Yeah, it should be the main priority, in my opinion. And they've got to get it right. Listen, we know every signing the majority of signings can be gambles. You don't know. Like Stephen mentioned, that I was a big advocate for Barkas coming because I've seen him twice against us at Celtic Park. I was at the game against Athens.
Mate, he was a Greece number one goalkeeper back then, and everybody was kind of like, here we go.
I was at the game against Athens, and we should have won the game quite comfortably, but Barkas was brilliant.
He was the reason why we didn't.
He was very commanding out his box. He was similar to what he is the way at Utrecht now, coming out and punching things and shop stopping was brilliant. It was that nasty streak about what a goalkeeper I like. It was the same away from home. He made some cracking saves. The main priority is a goalkeeper. Fans are just worried about signing, I think, guys maybe that are maybe foreign because of the Barca. But don't let that... People need to remember, one bad signing out of a few goalkeepers should not put you off, because we've had Foster, we've had Boric, we've had Craig Gordon, we've had Joe Hart. So one bad goalkeeper out of so many... Listen, that feels... I've always said...
Sorry, Ryan, I don't mean to butt in you, but I just don't want to burst your bubble too much there, Paddy, but Modric signed a new deal. He signed a new contract a couple of days ago, mate, so he signed an extra 1 year deal.
For me, it's a main priority, mate. I'm agreeing with you. It's got to be right, because like I said last week with you and Baz,
it's the biggest signing.
If you get the core of your team right, your goalkeeper, middle, in front, then I think you can then work around the rest. So as long as your four down the middle are bang on, then you can roughly go, right, okay, right, we've got that, where do we go now? But listen, I will wait till we get a proper, more in-depth kind of feeling about if the guy's definitely coming. I'd imagine he's probably the only guy Celtic I've spoken to in terms of agents or putting feelers out. I'd imagine, I know you're saying since February, but they've really had a year. Because we all knew Joe Hart was coming to his end of his contract this season. Whether or not he was going to stay on or no was a guess. It was nobody knew if he was going to continue or retire or go away elsewhere, maybe down the leagues or so. But we didn't really expect Joe Hart every season he did, because I was kind of calling for a new goalkeeper in the summer. A lot as well, to be fair. But Joe Hart was fantastic. And yes, you've got to have a solid number one. The difference is when you sing guys who you've not really known much about, you can only go on YouTube clips or wee bits and bobs you've seen on the TV. When you see guys like who I've seen before, like Craig Gordon and Foster, and these are guys you've seen before, so you know they're going to be no gambles. They'll come in perfectly, and there you go. But some guys like some foreign goalkeepers, we don't know much about them. We can only go what we've seen snippets of. So you just need to trust the manager and the recruitment team. Do you trust some of the recruitment team and some of the signings recently? Bernardo's been good. Ida's been decent. Kuhn's been decent as well. Palmer as well. So, but the amount of money we spent this summer for the amount of players we bought, the recruitment team didn't do great.
Would you say though, Ryan? Would you say though, in terms of last summer, would you say that those players were definitely earmarked by the previous manager? I would say
they were possibly majority of them were Angie's. Yang was definitely Angie's. I feel that who's the other player? The guys at Quan and Home. I think they were all guys earmarked by Ange. And by the way, listen, guys, we all lauded Ange, right? But some of these signings were pretty shit as well. Let's be fair. I know Abelgard was a loan deal, but Abelgard, Yang, so far is no cutting the mustard. Home, if that's the same as I know he spoke to Brendan, but I've got a feeling he was kind of earmarked by Ange.
I kind of feel. This is just my thoughts based on what obviously I know about Thiago Home. Just the couple of injuries that he got to win his back, and then
no, I'm not going to talk about him.
I feel as if it's hard for us to
judge.
You've mentioned guys that we've saw plenty. I mean, Yang played over 30 games for Celtic last season, right? So we saw him, plenty of times to make a good judgment there. Same with Big O, same with other boys that you could go and mention. I don't think we're at that point with Thiago.
No, but I'm just mentioning in terms of the guys at Ange, maybe earmark. If he did earmark Home, we're assuming he did. I know he spoke to Brendan and he met him and signed him, but I feel he's earmarked by the recruitment team, because I'd like to think that I know we've maybe heard now that Ange was actually maybe leaving before even the end of the season. There was talk, who knows? I'm not going to sit here and spread things. I'm just reading things and articles that it was. I believe that Ange was left before the end of the season. His head was already away with Celtic. I think all that stuff about it, all that stuff end of the season. We'll see what happens. He knew that's why he was.
No, of course he did. Of course, even Jota. Jota must have known he was moving on his way.
That's why at the end of the game,
we know these things don't happen just overnight, mate.
At the end of the game, they were taking it all in, and you seen Ange, and it was like a tear in his eye. It was like he's away here. We all said that. We all said in private that before he was away. And as much as we wanted him to stay in, but listen, Ange did have a lot of good successes, but he did sign some guys that have no cut the mustard or no really made a massive impact. So, but every signing's not going to be perfect, and we know that. But as long as the majority of them do well, then you've got something there. But listen, we'll just need to wait and see in terms of the goalkeeper situation and obviously the way we work. But I know there's been a lot of talk about. Listen, it's going to be a lot of talk about this guy until he retires to come back to obviously Kieran Tierney. I've seen some of the comments about him getting back. I don't want him back and stuff. I also put in Twitter today. I think, but again, listen, it's going to split opinions. People say yes, people say no. Injuries, I bet he's good, and so it's going to divide opinions. You can spend all day and all night talking about Kieran Tierney coming to Celtic. It's just my opinion. I feel it's an absolute no-brainer, in my opinion. Right? I know there's injury issues, but who's to say he's going to get injured again? He could have a season without no injuries. I know people might go if you spend. Listen, in my opinion, £10 million, if that's what Arsenal do want, and that is proper information. I don't know Arsenal, so I don't know if it is true. But for what we've seen, if that's the asking price Arsenal want, right, we've spent over £10 million to try and get close to a Kieran Tierney or a similar quality to come in and help us, i.e. European level, right? Taylor's done decent. It's his position. He's competed very well. But there's a big difference to Greg Taylor to a Kieran Tierney, right? So we've spent £10 million trying to get that level of quality. and if you can get him back for £10 million, yes, wages might be a but I think there's maybe a bit of wiggle room if you say to him, listen, we know you love Celtic, maybe a loan deal start, whatever they need to do is JP. In my opinion, just ask the question. Just go and ask, say to Arsenal, say to Kieran and his agent and his team, whatever it is, can this deal be spoke about? Can it be spoken about? And in my opinion, he's 27-year-old. He's played in Spain recently there. He's still fit the Euros. He's played 20
still playing international football as well with Scotland.
It's not like he played 5 games for Sociedad. He played over 20 games last season. So I know people might think, Ryan, you're crazy.
Picture him in Maeda down the left.
Aye, I know. I think people might think I'm crazy because you want to pay £10 million for a guy that might only play 25 games. But see if he plays in the 4 derby...
25 games is a big margin, mate, in your season.
See if he plays in the 4 derby games, he plays in all the big games, and then I think he needs to be managed again. I don't know how Sociedad have managed him, how Arsenal managed him, but I feel with Greg Taylor, you've got a steady Eddie, ready to come in and play when need be, and you know, the quality might dip a wee bit, but you know you've still got a steady Eddie there. You know what you're going to get from him every week, 7 out of 10. He'll defend, he'll give you everything. He's a winner, he's won trebles, he's won doubles. As much as I might not be his biggest fan, when Greg Taylor's on the team right now, you miss him. You miss him. That's no, right? So, but imagine having him as your second in the command. This is what I'm saying. So, European game, right? Tierney starts, right? Maybe take him off after 60 minutes if you're winning the game or whatever, or maybe he's feeling something, right? But you know, then you've got Taylor to come in and play during the week. I just feel, JP, if you can manage it and you try and, again, people might think I'm Looney Tunes, right? They might think it's crazy spending £10 million on a guy that might not be fully fit. But who's to say Carter Vickers will be fit next year? Or McGregor, or Hatate, or Scales? You cannot determine the future. You might go on stats, because let's be fair, Adi Mead had a lot of injuries before he came to Celtic. For the last 5 months, he's been fully fit. So that doesn't mean you can't go in the future. You can to a certain degree. And I totally get people's views on it, JP. I get it. Listen, I'm not going to say people you're wrong because I get the injury part. I get it. It is a risk. But you know his quality. And you know, in my opinion, £10 million for that quality of player, I don't know where else you get it, JP. For the quality that Celtic are looking for, people are going to go, we can't afford £10 million. But this is where I feel, if you just ask the question to Arsenal, to his team, to his agents, can this deal get sorted? And I feel if they say yes, then I feel Celtic are probably in the highest teams in terms of chance of happening. Because one, he's been here before, he knows he's going to play Champions League football, he'll be the first choice left back, and it might actually help Greg Taylor, pushing him on again. Like, let's go, if you want to play, you'll need to try and get up a bit. And I think it's, for me, I get the two sides, JP. I know you might have a different opinion from me. I get the injury process, I get the wages, but I just feel that it's an absolute no-brainer in terms of quality. As long as you get him fully, I know that sounds daft, right, but if he's here fully fit, £10 million an absolute bargain. He's 27-year-old. It's not like he's 32, 33. So for me, it's an absolute yes. And if we can get it done, JP, get him up the road. It's an absolute no-brainer. And people say we can't spend that amount of money. We spent 6 in Jordan Vickers. We spent 9 in Edward. We spent 5 yet in Barker. So I feel if we need to break the structure, JP, a wee tiny bit to get this quality in, for me, he's the sort of player we need to do for.
Yeah, before I come to that one, Ryan, a couple of wee comments I saw coming in. Where are they? They've kind of disappeared. The partner has asked, well, Brendan Rodgers have one eye on the Euros to see if he can find a diamond.
Possibly, aye.
John, I think it's an ongoing process, mate. I think, that for me, that's a no-brainer in terms of he'll be watching the Euros. Am I right in saying that Brendan's part of the Euro team? I'm sure he's doing one of the games.
I don't know. I know Joe Hart is, but I don't know about Brendan.
Yeah, Joe Hart. Big Anjas as well. I know he's signed up for it. And so is obviously Barry Bannon's gaffer. Danny Rowe going to be there as well. But I'm sure I read a couple of days ago that Brendan's actually going to be part of the... I don't know if it's ITV or BBC, but he's going to be part of...
I'm not sure, mate.
One of the setups for one or two of the games. Claire, good evening, pal. Hope you're well. It's good to see you back on. Does anybody know Brendan's track record on signing goalkeepers with previous clubs? There was a couple of wee comments. I think it was maybe a bit of banter saying he signed Doris de Vries. By the way, Doris de Vries might not have worked out at Celtic, but he certainly did a turn for Brendan. Mm-hmm. Yep, he was instrumental in the season at Swansea, came up under Brendan, and that's why Brendan signed him up here. The Doris played a couple of good games for us, but again, you've got to remember who was up with him here. He was in with Craig Gordon, who over the last 10, 15 years, you'd probably say he's one of the best Celtic goalkeepers you've seen. Winning I always relate goalkeepers to what they do in terms of being part of your success. And then, see when things don't go great, do they have the character to help you out, to bring you on, bring you out of it? And guys like Joe Hart, Craig Gordon, Fraser Foster, they were all big goalkeepers for Celtic at the time. These guys are, in my opinion, are why you win. When you've got that level in your team of goalkeepers. But you could flip that, Claire. And obviously, taking away Doris de Vries, he signed Simon Mignolet at Liverpool, who was a very, very good goalkeeper and played well for Liverpool in the Premier League. I think he's with Club Brugge now. I think he's over in Belgium now.
I think near the end of his career, but Liverpool did have a few...
Yeah, no, 100%. But I'm talking about when Brendan brought him to the club. I think he had a very good time of it.
He was all right.
I do think he, again, worked out okay. I know a few Liverpool fans, they were more happy with him than they were unhappy with him. So I think that tells you all you need to know. Mr. Stirling, good evening. Hope you're well. Hope you're well, Alan.
Big man.
Hope your debit card's not still too active buying Fitwa taps, mate. I know you love them. Big man like I've said before, big man puts his washing out, Ryan. It's like the Lisbon Lions are playing 5-a-side in his back garden, mate. The amount of Celtic taps you see running about.
He likes a wee tapping again, didn't you, big man?
I realised the tap you've got on the nights for your granddad, Danny McGrain, but obviously I thought it was actually, when I saw the first glimpse before we started, I actually thought it was Big Alan that gives you any one of his taps.
I got it off that Vinted. The big man's been selling some stuff on the Vinted. I can't tell you what it came with right enough, but he's selling some other things on Vinted. Tune in 10:30 show, and I think Big Alan, some of his accessories might be on show in the night at 10:30.
He's get more toys and Toys R Us, that big lovely guy, isn't he?
A big pig toy, a big salmon toy.
A big salmon toy to go with your salmon hoodie.
Aye.
Aye. Listen, Kieran Tierney, in terms of what you get with him quality-wise when he's playing, I've said it before, Ryan, Scotland are blessed. They have two of the best left-backs I think I've saw in the last 20 years. In football. I would class the two of them as world class.
So would I.
I don't think that's a silly shout. I really rate the two of them highly. And again, it shows you how good the two of them can be. That Tierney slots into a kind of left centre back role for Scotland to accommodate Andy Robertson. But the two of them really work well together. They overlap like hell together. They link play well together. And a lot of Scotland's damage gets done down the left-hand side. That's where Scotland really hurt teams. You look at one of the goals the other night. I think it was Shankland's header. Comes for that side. It comes for Tierney intercepting the ball. And then we kind of break away and we got the part and we score. A quality cross by Andy Robertson. And again, there's a lad there that's, again, developed his career on as well since he days at Dundee United. And he's just get better and better and better. And Tierney's obviously a big Celtic fan. I think, I don't think he would need too much of convincing to come. But I can understand people's thoughts in terms of 10 million. I think 10 million is even still for a guy who is he going to be fit? Is he going to play every game? Is he going to be able to? It's a lot of money. For me, it's a lot of money to shell out on a guy that, listen, nothing's a guarantee. I totally get that. Nothing is a guarantee. You could sign a guy for 10 million who's, I don't know, just say, I'll throw a name in here. Somebody like a Stan Petrov, the Days game, you know, that kind of quality, and pay 10 million for him. But he comes in and does what Usain Bolt done last night for Soccerhead, and rips his tights and has to get stretchered off. And now turns out today, I actually feel sorry for the big man, because I thought it was all an act. I thought it was, you know, I thought it was all.
See the thing with Tierney as well.
He's ripped his Achilles. So
see in the Euros, if he's the 3 games in the Euros, he's unbelievable as well, right? There's going to be suitors for him, because obviously he's been told, if we go by reports, Arsenal don't want him, or they want to try and cash in him and get some back. So it's just my opinion, JP. Listen, I know there's other. I know there's maybe some fans. There's maybe it's on Twitter. People have got an obsession with ex-players, etc. Right? I've not got an obsession with.
Ryan, you seen this? Have you saw this?
Well, we're on this, and so I don't know. I've had a few messages on my WhatsApp.
I've actually now looking at my phone now, and I've had a ping. I've had a ping.
You can let us know, JP.
That, well, Celtic.
If there's a link, who is it?
Celtic are interested in signing centre back. Now the boys for Austria.
Did it start with M by any chance?
No. You love this, because I pronounce forenames really well for you. You don't attempt to do this. Now his first name is Flavius. Oh,
Flavius.
Flavius. Flavius Danilichuk.
Who's he play for?
He plays for RB Salzburg.
Decent team, good standard.
Yeah, he's 23-year-old. He's a centre back, and he plays for. Oh, sorry. He was out to Salernitana in Italy.
Heard of him.
And obviously he's leaving them. But
Celtic I've never heard of the guy. So
Celtic are interested in.
Thanks, Ange, for that. Once we've done this, we'll have a wee look.
Yeah, Ange, thanks very much. I just, as soon as Ange says that, I then goes and there he's kind of there.
In terms of Tierney, JP, I just feel that if he has a good Euros, there'll be more interest in him, or maybe bigger teams. I know we're massive, but I mean, bigger European teams that might potentially, because I think apparently Sociedad is normally getting him back. I think I've seen that today. I don't know if that's true, but I've seen that today.
I've just seen here that Celtic have slapped a $6 million price tag on Mikey Johnston.
I think that's. I think somebody for the championship will probably pay that, JP. That's a type of.
Why not? Why not offer him for Adam Ida?
Aye, there you go. Aye, a swap deal, or a part of a swap deal. I just feel that if Celtic,
I would put Big O's 40 at the top of his body and just say, here he's here.
I just feel in terms of, I know there's a lot of people. Some people have got. We want guys who have been in combat. I've not got. I
there you go. So there's the answer to John's question. So he will be playing at the Euros, John.
Right. Okay. We'll need to keep an eye on that then.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, Ange. But I do feel that I get we don't want players back all the time, mate. You don't want every player back you've had before, but there's a difference in Kieran Tierney to just getting somebody that Kieran Tierney, in my opinion, when he was at his pomp, when he was fully fit a few years ago, JP, he was one of the best left backs of all the map. In my opinion, people think they might think I'm absolutely crazy. He was definitely one of the best in Europe, and in my opinion, he was definitely one of the best in the world at the point in time where he was at his pomp, when he went to sign for Arsenal. I feel that if Celtic are going to get him, I think a deal, if it's going to happen, listen, Celtic might even want him. This might just be absolute just because he's played with Celtic. If he's going to sign JP, I'd like to get a deal done before the end of the Euros, because I feel that if there's a good Euros, they'll be interested in him.
Well, so see, the thing is, Ryan, in terms of movement for signings, mate, I'm not waiting to the end of the Euros, mate. I think that's the 14th of July.
That's what I'm saying. If Celtic are going to sign him, I feel it's going to be soon.
Yeah.
I think if you wait to the end of the Euros to talk to him, then I feel that it might be a way. If Celtic even want them, Barry, but Celtic might not want them. There's always going to be links with ex-players because of who they've been. Like there'll be links with Armstrong now because he's a free transfer. There'll be links with Edward again because he's no playing with Palace. There'll be links with Mbele if he ever becomes a free transfer again. There's always going to be, because of the links with Rodgers, is also because he signed them. Well, he signed obviously Mbele will apparently dial it earmarked him, but Rodgers got the deal done, etc. So, and because he's managed them, there's always going to be links. But I just want the best players we can and see if we need to break the wage structure or we need to break the transfer rate or whatever we need to do, the model, whatever we need to do to get a quality player in. I think we need to do it for a certain player to help us in terms of quality because our model is good, let's say, JP, it does work, but we do need to tweak it. And if tweaking it means paying a bit more money for a bit of quality or extending the wage gap for a bit more quality, I do feel, in my opinion, that quality is somebody of Kieran Tierney's quality.
I think the change for me, Ryan, would be age of the player. So I think, a lot of people brand it but that's what I'm saying. A lot of people brand it as ready-made, right? But I don't like to do that because then that's disrespectful to like an Adamida, who's a young lad, but he's quality and he brings good quality in the squad and wins you cup finals and puts you on the podium, lifting trophies and stuff. So I don't like to be that disrespectful. When I say changing it, just more experience. Guys who are a bit older have been round, played European football, like you say. He's played over in Spain, he's down in England, he's played in the Premier League, played against Man City, Man United, Chelsea, played against all these teams, but he's also played in the Champions League for Celtic.
It also adds to the
and scored against Man City in the Champions League.
If you sign somebody, Armstrong or Tierney, it adds to that as well. So you're getting a decent player.
Tierney was an academy player as well.
That adds to that as well. So if you did have to let go McCarthy, I know it's not going to happen, but if it was Ralston, Taylor or Bain, whoever it was, you're getting one back in again. So you're not then having to then find a player. I just feel that, listen, it's going to split opinion, JP, and probably until the guy retires, he's probably going to be linked to come back to Celtic Park. Andy Robertson will be the same. Until he retires, there'll be links to him because he's a Celtic fan and he's been here. For me, Kieran Tierney, at £10 million, for the quality of player, yes, I get the injury aspect. I totally get it. And I get the wages might be high. But if Celtic can get that deal done and there's wiggle room to get the deal done, I just think it's a no-brainer. I really do. I think the quality... Listen, see people that signed Kieran Tierney. The league's done. The league's done. Celtic will not lose a league title with Kieran Tierney at left back. People can street shot this, they can video record it, they can do what they want, but it's the truth. Celtic will not lose a league title if Kieran Tierney is playing at left back every week and he's fully fit. It's not going to happen.
I can't believe you've said I can't believe you've said that because now what's going to happen is Greg Taylor's getting another 5-year deal tomorrow and Kieran Tierney's going to Malaga.
Well, listen, it's probably going to happen, JP, right? But you've got to, I always like to think, let's try and go, let's get it done and let's try and get these quality players in.
Well, listen,
for me, the guys,
you could have that, you could have that song getting played for you. ABBA. I had a dream.
I do feel in terms of...
By the way, I'm going to need I've not put any money in my power card.
The main priority is a goalkeeper, but I do feel the left-hand side needs addressed as well. If it's somebody to come in and help Scales and somebody to play with Taylor as well, I do feel that's, again, I don't want to be disrespectful, but that is my opinion. That's our weak bit of the team that needs improved a bit for us in terms of the European side. And I feel that if it's Tierney or somebody that quality, I feel that we need to try and look for that. I don't mean a big name just for the money, but somebody, like you say, experienced, has played European. Don't go and sign a 19-year-old at £10 million, because for me that's a massive gamble. But signing somebody at Kieran Tierney's level, yes, I get the injury, I get it, JP, I totally get it. People might think I'm crazy for even contemplating spending £10 million on a guy that might not play every week, but who's to say that he's going to be injured? Nobody can tell the future. I can't tell him what I'm going for dinner tomorrow. So, do you know what I mean? It's just, but like I says, mate, people will probably, opinions, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, but for me, it's a no-brainer. And Brendan, if you're listening, get it done and get them up the road, because it's all just that, JP. You'll get the strip sales, everything else that comes with that. So the £10 million pound,
your job's been made easier for you now, mate.
Because Ryan said that.
because
have you guys when he said that Glasgow says you better get it done?
That's it. Ryan, the king of the ordinary people.
Ryan, the pallet prick.
King Ryan, the pallet prick. Aye. Smoking your pan in all day, lifting your scale with pallets. Brendan, if you're listening, go to your bed, son. 10:05, Ryan, on a Monday evening, mate. Better let you go. You've got a wee bit of prep work today.
You know, mate. You better go and get the electric card out.
I need to go and put money in my power card. Shocking, man. I forgot to do it today, and it's thought I was getting away with it, but I seem to be disappearing into the black hole called Qatar here. That
when you joining plunge, you're going to sit in a dark room and no heating, and
I've got thingy in this cupboard behind me here. Mark McGee's sitting there waiting on me for a cuddle. He's him and Hugh Evans are they've come out of a bit of the crack. For everybody that's tuned in with us tonight and all the comments, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you
for your time on this Monday evening. I know Mondays are normally boring for a lot of people, and we do appreciate all the comments and the support. And can I just ask, if you're new to the channel, please like and hit the subscribe button. It's totally free to do. And share alike amongst your Celtic friends and family. But if you've not already, please hit that like button on the YouTube channel, because again, it helps us to bring content to you guys. Myself and Ryan, we'll be back in the middle of the week, around about that time, for more chat. We'll be chatting outside Celtic Park.
Can I tell you time though, because we could get bombarded with all the fans and all.
Well, that's it. If Brendan didn't hear us tonight, we'll soon get him to hear us during the week. That's for sure. But folks, from myself, take care.
Take care, guys. Hope
you've had another good week. Hope everyone's looking forward to the Euros. We'll probably be chatting more about the Euros as we go later in the week as well. But whatever you're doing for the big kick-off on Friday, we've got it all planned and ready to go. Big Alan's probably buying a Scotland tap now as we speak.
I a 1920 start.
1920 start with Mike Galloway's name on the back of it, probably. But good chat again, Ryan. Good to see you again, pal.
Yeah, you too, mate. You too, mate.
Take care, everybody. Again, we'll see you later in the week. Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
Oh, you can't shove the goalie in the box. Oh, you can't shove the goalie in the box. Oh, you can't shove the goalie, cause he's a holy goalie. Can't shove the goalie in the box. The real Rangers were coming once again, they said. 3 in a row.